Hello and welcome to this new episode of Open Book Entrepreneur. Today we have Andrew here with us. He is actually a real estate investor and also developed this amazing coaching program for real estate as well. So, Andrew, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tony, for having me on the show. Big fan. I've caught a bunch of your episodes. Really cool stuff. So appreciate being on here and getting the invite. Long story short, Tony, I've been in real estate since 2013. I'm a serial real estate entrepreneur. Started with a team, ran and operated a team for 11 years, doing retail, buying, listing, wholesale, flipping, all kinds of stuff. Spun off a software company where I have a team CRM operating platform for pre-built specifically for teams because we needed it for our own team. I run a marketing agency doing Google ad, PPC, pay-per-click for real estate wholesalers and investors across the US. And then we were just talking pre-show. My latest passion project of mine is I started a coaching program called the Probate Engineers where we install seven-figure probate departments inside of a real estate business within 4 weeks. So that's also from my time working with probates for about 7, 8 years while I was running and operating the team.
I mean, that sounds really fantastic. So, can you tell us a little bit more about how this program works in terms of, obviously, you said you're installing this seven-figure system within 4 weeks. That sounds great. So, tell us more about that.
Yeah, it's really simple, man. I spent a lot of time figuring it out, right?
Yeah.
Making mistakes, spending money, losing money, like that. That's the worst part about it. But then I just optimize it. I'm a very systems processes oriented person. Before I got into real estate, Tony, I worked nuclear weapons stuff with the US Air Force at the Pentagon, and it
Wow.
was all about it was all about checklists and processes and doing the same repetitive thing over and over and over. So to not make mistakes, right? So I took that thinking, and I happen to be incredibly OCD, just as a personal side note about myself. So I took all that learning from my time at the Air Force, and I plugged that into every single business. With probate engineers, you get my 8 years worth of mistakes that have been fixed and optimized, and then you plug, we call it modeling and then modifying. So I say, hey, Tony, you want to get into probates? I'll educate you on them. I'll help you install the systems and processes and tools that I use. And then you can modify them for how Tony wants to do it. A little one-off, like personal touch. And then the final part is we teach you how to really grow and scale through leveraging other teammates, leveraging softwares, leveraging more tools to make it even more optimized for you. So in a nutshell, if you follow the recommended schedule of, going through the modules and you actually execute on the tactical action items we give you, it takes about 4 weeks to get that department up and running and generating leads, hopefully generating deals as well.
Great. I mean, so quick and yeah. And then on top of that, like, what inspired you to actually get into this line of business, Sandra?
Real estate or probate?
Both.
Both. Okay, well, I'll start with real estate. So I just mentioned I worked in the government. I was a civilian for 7.5 years at the Air Force, but I always had that entrepreneurial bug. In college, Tony, me and my business partner used to run a painting company where we would market to houses, and I hired a crew. Over the summer, we would go paint houses, then we'd all go back to school. So I always loved that. And I went to school for entrepreneurship as well. I went to business school, majored in entrepreneurship, starting my own business. This sounds kind of funny, but around 2003 was when like HGTV came out with like Flip This House, Bargain Hunt, like all those shows. And it was like an agent took someone to a house or flipped a house and it was like bought the house for 200K, put $1 into it, sold it for 1 million and made 800K. We're like, wow, that seems very lucrative. So around 2013, my business partner Dan and I, he was in private finance, I was in the government. We were like, why don't we start a business and like build something together that we own, that we can have, be proud of. And we started a team in 2013. I did real estate and my work with the Air Force overlapping for 2 years. And then really quickly we got pretty good at real estate. And I basically made like 8 times what I made at my Air Force salary. So financially, I was like, okay, maybe I should just do this full time. So I left the Air Force, never regretted working at the Air Force. I loved all the men and women there, but I started off on, on this new venture. Long story short, how we got to probate was we took the 80/20 principle. So when we first started operating our company and our business, we had all these lead sources. We were like this lead source, like shiny object grabbing lead sources. And we didn't really track anything to the level that we do today. So we thought it was working, we are doing deals, but then we were like, we're not making any money. We just did like 7 figures worth of volume and revenue coming in, but like our profit margins were like single digits. And we're like, what the heck is going on? So we started implementing data and analytics into our business processes and our decision making at the high leadership level. So we said, all right, where are we making our money? And we started tracking by lead source. So there's that 80/20 principle where 80% of the revenue came from 20% of our lead sources, and we just threw out all the rest and focused on those. Though the top three were PPC, pay per click, joint venture, and probate. So probate was always like there, but we didn't really know what it was, but we were closing deals. So we're like, all right, well, instead of focusing on 50 lead sources, because at any time we would have 50 to maybe 100, and it was crazy, dude. It was not something that I recommend people doing. But we said, all right, why don't we just focus and have a calibrated, systematic approach for our top 5 lead sources, right? So I started educating myself on probate, figuring out the timeline, the process, the players, any hurdles that might come up, how to find them myself instead of purchasing them from a list source, right? So we just got really, really, really good. And the silly part is everyone in real estate knows about probates, but not everyone knows how to approach them in the right way. And if you really put the time and the effort to learn the right way, not just, hey, Tony, I'll buy your house. Hey, Tony, I'll sell your house, but to come with value, you're going to be the top 1% of the specialist in that niche. And what's great and not great because people have to pass away, Tony, is probate cases come out every single day. Over 1.5 million probate cases in the United States across 3,200 counties. Yet you go to any real estate group or page and it's like, I need leads, I need leads, I need leads. And you're like, well, there's this amazing lead source that if you just tap into it and go all in, it could potentially be the only lead source that you need to run and operate your entire business. So that's what got me jazzed and excited about probates. And then to bring this full circle, I would talk to a lot of people about pay-per-click, and it's expensive. It's an investment. We're spending 10, 11K a month. Not a whole lot of people can do that. So people would say, hey, Andrew, I love PPC. I just can't afford it right now. What else can you help me with? And I was like, probate. So I put together this probate. We went through a beta, got a whole lot of people in it, and it's been helping them grow their business and setting up this probate department. It's a few months old, so it's just a baby right now, but we're having a lot of success and it's really exciting.
That sounds fantastic. I mean, such a great story and a very clean sort of path. Obviously, I'm sure you had a lot of ups and downs in the process as
Oh,
well.
it took me 11 years to get there, Tony.
Exactly, because the first thing that you said, it's very simple, but I'm sure it's very simple now when you went through all
Yes.
the challenges and problems, and this is this is the value of coaching and mentoring, because you can now sort of package this whole deal as you did, and package all the mistakes and all the issues and challenges you went through, and then you can present it to to your clients,
Yeah.
and they don't have to go to the same shit.
That's the idea. When I was going through this first cohort group,
Yeah,
they were like, "Can you just give us a massive list of what not to do?" And I was
yeah.
like, "Perfect. Yes, I can." So there's literally a list of like things to avoid in probate. Don't do this, don't say that kind of thing. So yeah, it's that expedited learning curve, Tony, just like any coaching program, right? Whether it's learning, flipping, wholesaling, whatever. It's do you want to get into this and do you want to learn it in an expedited fashion? Obviously, there's like the effort on the part of the student going through it to execute, but all the lessons learned are packed into that to hopefully make it a very efficient model that you can plug into right away.
100%. So, yeah, if someone wants to actually get in touch with you, Andrew, learn more about what you do or connect to you, how they can do that?
The easiest way, Tony, is on social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram probably the most, but my handle is the same across the board. I am Andrew Becker. So I am my first and last name. Reach out, DM me. I'd love to chat with anyone that's interested in discussing probates or anything else real estate related.
Brilliant. And on top of that, one if you have one piece of advice for anyone watching us who is probably into real estate and it's like looking to get more leads, because I hear this all the time with from a lot of sort of people involved in real estate. They need more properties, they need more houses, they need more. What's one piece of advice you can share with them?
Yeah, I think whether it's getting into probates or something different, Tony, is not to overwhelm yourself with like, I need more lead sources. If you consistently do any lead source, whether you pay an arm and a leg for it every month or whether you do it for free like open houses, if you show up every single day and do it every single day, you will get better. You will learn. If you start writing down your mistakes and writing down what's working, that also helps to expedite that. But you will be successful. The only time a lead source will fail, excluding if they're like fake leads or you're buying, that kind of thing, is if you give up. So put your head down, maybe focus on one, if not maybe two at the most, and just do those like open houses. Do an open house twice a week for an entire year and see how your life will change. Look at probates, start doing them every single day, every week, and see how your life and your business will change. I feel like the biggest thing is people give up just way too early. They send mailers out and say, I got one call. I sent 5,000 mailers out. Mailing doesn't work. Well, guess what? We've been mailing for 13 years and it works. We get calls all day, every day because we've been mailing consistently and we never gave up. But we got better and we optimized and we learned how to track appropriately to see that it was actually returning and what mailers weren't and got, tweaked and pivoted. But that's the key. Stick with one thing, do it for a year and see how different your business will be.
Great advice. Andrew, thank you so much for being a guest today. Thank you all for watching, listening to this episode. If you have any questions for Andrew or me, you can ask them in the comments, and yeah, we'll be more than happy to answer them. So see you all in the next episode. Andrew, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.